Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is well and had a beautiful weekend. It's Monday, June 3rd, 2019, and I'm here to do an elemental lunar reading for the lunar cycle beginning today with the new moon, June 3rd, 2019 through July 2nd, 2019. The new moon is in Gemini. We're in the cycle of Gemini, and Gemini rules the mind. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So this is, with this new moon, it's really about thought. It's about receiving divine inspiration through the mind and getting it out into form through words, through thought, through writing. So if you want to set intentions, it would be great to do it with writing or speaking out loud what you truly want to set. For any Geminis out there, happy birthday. This is your one new moon of your whole lunar cycle for the year. So this is like your new year. All of us get one new moon and one full moon every year. So have at it, because this is your time to really set your energies for the entire year. We're going to receive a gift and a lesson for the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the third quarter moon, and then a gift and a lesson for the entire lunar month, as well as a gift and a lesson unicorn card. So we're going to begin with the first lunar cycle, which is the new moon in Gemini, June 10th through June 17th, 2019. The new moon is where there's the least amount of light reflecting from the moon. So this is a time of intention setting. This is a time of really aligning, using that Gemini aspect of being able to hear the divine inspiration, not the monkey mind, letting go of that, aligning so that we can really feel and hear what we truly want within ourselves to set intentions that are going to give us the creations we really want, the manifestations of what we really want, and have fun with it. It should be joyful. We're here for manifesting and creating more than the creation and the manifestation. So for the new moon, our gift card, the energies that the universe is giving us to draw from and really benefit from is the Ancient Wisdom card. This is an earth element card governed by the stone amber. So this is really being the gift, setting the gift of this whole new cycle. The gift being an earth element card, that's talking about the universe wanting what we're setting to come into form. Okay, and again, like I said, with wind element, with air signs, and Gemini being the ruler of the mind, and it's the archetype of it in its highest integrity is, the mind can be going off into ego and monkey mind. This is about aligned clarity of mind where we're receiving divine guidance, because the amber gift here is saying we can bring into form what we want by the end of this cycle, or at least some aspect of it in a longer cycle, because time is not linear, by tapping into the old ways, by sitting in sacred space, by connecting to nature, by getting off our phones and Instagram and Facebook and all the stuff we use, the pushing, rushing. Earth element's very calm and receptive. Earth element represents our physical health and our bodies. It represents everything we see and touch. It represents the reality we've created. And if we don't like what our creations look like, we get to change them through thought, through the mind. So the gift of ancient wisdom is connect with the old ways, with the stillness, with the grounding with earth, in order to bring into form what you truly want. The lesson card with it goes beautifully. This is the personal truth card governed by Amazonite, and this is a water element card. And in the lesson position, this is the universe asking us to get real with what we want. If we're creating from what other people want, or what we just think we want because other people have it and this should be the way we live, it's not going to work for you. We have to come from the heart, our heart. Each of us have our own unique journey and our own unique path. And who knows what's best for you? Nobody except yourself, beloved. It is within you, your soul source, your inner being knows what's best for you. So again, use the gift of this ancient wisdom to tap into that truth, because it's through learning that truth, through being receptive, taking the time to learn how to really trust the path of least resistance. Water element is asking you to let go. Water element is asking you to get heart-centered, calm yourself, create some time every day to just sit with yourself, and especially through this first week from the 10th to the 17th of this intention setting and where you truly want to go, so that you can move forward and allow what you truly want, and by the end to come into form, because earth and water are a beautiful combination. Water stimulates earth, but it doesn't destroy it. If you think about a river flowing around rocks, it takes the path of least resistance, but it still gets there. Okay, so if you're creating from a place that is not in alignment with your heart and what you truly want, and if you're not able to speak your words, sometimes we have to tell others who are in our life what they don't want to hear, because we have to walk our path. That's the lesson for you this week, but you can do it with love, you can do it with kindness, and you can do it by tapping into this beautiful supportive gift of ancient wisdom. Moving into the first quarter moon, okay, so we've set our intentions, and now this is the week of kind of allowing them to take form. The seeds were planted, now there might be little tiny sprouts coming up, but we don't want to pick them because they'll die. You know, we don't want to overwater them or overtend to them. We want to allow them to grow, allow them to take form by getting heart-centered, spending time in nature, connecting, getting out of that rush, act. This is from June 17th through June 25th, 2019, and the gift we received is the Insight card. This is a beautiful, beautiful wind element or air element gift, governed by azurite. And as you can see, she has a gorgeous azurite stone at her third eye. She also has the protection of the evil eye around her eye here. So the azurite in the gift position is the universe, your guides, our guides, allowing us through this connecting with ancient wisdom and really aligning with what we truly want. It's allowing us during this time of waiting and allowing things to grow to be able to see and feel below the surface, trusting our intuitiveness, trusting what's coming through to you, not what people are telling you. What do you feel? What do you truly know? That's the truth that's being presented to you, not necessarily by what people are telling you or doing or acting toward you, because this insight is powerful in the gift position. And this is wind element. We are in Gemini. So, you know, it's really important that this first week you align with this personal truth so you can be calm and heart-centered, to trust your intuitiveness, trust what you truly know about yourself, and if you feel a certain way about somebody and you're in a heart-centered state, if you're coming from fear, you can't necessarily trust it. You have to be in that calm, heart-centered state. Trust that, because that's your inner being telling you the truth. The lesson that goes with it is, this is a beautiful lesson to go with this gift of insight about being able to feel and see below the surface about what's being shown to you in the external world, is the acceptance card, okay? The lesson of acceptance governed by lepidolite. This is another water element lesson, another lesson of learning this month to trust our inner guidance, to take the path of least resistance instead of pushing and acting and running out in the world and doing, to allow, to receive, learning to receive, learning to let go and let God, allow the divine timing of things, allow this, what you've set, to grow. you see that this lepidolite is literally being carried by the water. That shouldn't happen, right? This should be sinking to the bottom, but it's not, because that's the message. You have to trust and allow yourself to be carried by water element during this time. You know, and some of you, the lesson may be accepting and letting go of people or situations in your life that you can finally see from tapping into this wisdom and getting aligned with what you truly want are not the best for you, and you need to accept and let go, so that during this full moon cycle you have the fruiting of what you truly want. Okay, this is a really beautiful combination. Again, wind is directive and water is receptive, but they're both comprised of oxygen and hydrogen. Wind is the etheric exact composition of water element. Even though wind element is directive, it's still the path of least resistance. So it's a really beautiful combination for us in this second week of the first quarter moon. So now we're moving into the full moon. This is a full moon in Sagittarius, and this is a really big lunar cycle beginning with this new moon, because this full moon is going to be extremely, extremely powerful. And it is June 17th is the full moon through June 25th, these energies for us. And the gift is the gift of balance. So we've come from earth, gift of wind, and now we're being gifted with fire. Fire element governs our power, energy, action. It's very directive, whereas, we've had 2 weeks of receptive water element lessons. So now we're being gifted with action. And what action do we take? Well, we have to make sure we're balanced in our action. This is governed by Tiger Eyes. So the gift of this is the gift of us allowing ourselves to see and act from what areas in our life need to be balanced. Are we working 24/7 and not taking any time to play? Are we spending too much time at work and ignoring our family? Or are we doing the opposite, where we're just sort of letting deadlines fly by? Are we ignoring our earth element aspect of our creations and just sitting on the couch fantasizing and daydreaming about what we wish we had but don't know how to bring in? This is the gift of balance. You see these scales, and it represents the not just balance in our lives, but balance of polarity. We've got a dark orb and a light orb, and really there is no polarity. It's an illusion that as humans, we just always seem to feel like it's something has to be good or bad, right or wrong, white or black in our judgments. But this gift is allowing us, through ancient wisdom, through insight, to come into this balance, so that we can bring balance in our life. We can stand in what I call dynamic balance as a co-creator, accountable for our lives, and understand what needs to come into balance. The full moon is the illumination of the brightest aspect of what the moon is, and it's the fruiting of what we've set, but it's also the release of what we need to let go of, to allow ourselves to carry this new form, to carry this intention that came into form to the next level. All right, because energetically, we can't just create and create and create and never let go. It's got to be balanced. We have to let go of what no longer serves in order to create more and move forward. Really beautiful, beautiful gift to have under this powerful fire element Sagittarius full moon. The lesson with it is, wow, another water element lesson. So 3 weeks in a row of learning about the path of least resistance, of allowing, of receiving, of trusting our inner knowing for ourselves, and understanding each of us has our own unique path, and that if we're not on our own unique, special, beautiful path, we're not only living our best life for ourselves, but remember, we're all part of the one. So if we're any of us that are living our true path from coming from the heart, we're contributing to the entire earth, to the entire planet, because we're doing what we came here to do. And I'm not just talking about career, okay? I don't want people to think aligning with your soul path is just about career. It governs every aspect of your life. So our lesson is innocence, governed by blue lace agate. And the innocence card goes very well with this balance card, because the message for us to learn about is learning to let go of these perceived judgments, these perceived negative things within ourselves, or negative experiences that we're either in the middle of or have had that are holding us back, we're still carrying with us. Because the innocence card is an extremely heart-healing, powerful lesson to learn when you can understand that whatever experience you are in or have had is to bring you growth. Innocence is about being able to sit with whatever is going on around you in love, coming from this place of love, coming from this place of joy and gratitude, and not judging it for bad or good, judging it as the moment and experience. You know, if you what you can picture is a child, you know, receiving an ice cream cone, a child waking up to Christmas, to their gifts, a child seeing a butterfly and clouds, and you know, they just see everything with joy. They see everything with excitement. They're not judging. They come from such a place of heart-centered love and honesty. And that's the lesson through this gift of balance that we can receive. You know, here is this illumination of the full moon allowing you to learn this. There's 3 weeks of water element. You know, we're moving into a state now where we are really needing to learn that being receptive, trusting our inner knowing, going with the flow, going with the path of least resistance is really the key to co-creating and living your best life. The more we push and force and try, the further away things get. When we can allow and trust and come from this state of dynamic balance, understanding what needs to come into balance in our life, whether it's our house of earth, house of water, house of wind, or house of fire, and just come from a place of love and compassion. That's what's being asked here, because it's through these 2 cards with balance and this innocence card, that's where you can let go of the old that is going to hinder this new creation that's being shown to you in the light of the full moon. And now we're moving into the 3rd quarter moon. This is June 25th through July 2nd, 2019. And this is the moment in the lunar cycle where it's kind of what astrologists call the crisis moment, where we're being asked to show the world what we've learned, to show the world what we've created. So we can't necessarily do that if we haven't learned how to come from our personal truth and speak from the heart, haven't learned how to let go and trust ourselves, and more importantly, trust the divine timing of things. Learn how to sit in this empowered state of love and compassion and letting go of what's right and what's wrong, what is good and what is bad. And we come into the gift of beautiful. I told you it was going to be a powerful cycle. This is a storm element gift of illumination. Okay, so here is this powerful lunar cycle, and you're being gifted with light and energy and illumination. The light is on you, beloved, as you speak out and show the world what you've created. And I don't mean we all have to go on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram and say, I did this, I did this. It's the energy you carry. You're showing the world by what you're doing, quietly and silently, or on a big scale. It doesn't matter. This is governed by Cereusite. And this beautiful message of storm element is saying, number 1, storm element is an event that's comprised of earth, fire, water, and wind. That's when storm gets activated in your life to bring in transformation and change. So we have earth, fire, water, and wind here, and now we've moved into storm. And the message of this is for you you're being gifted with the ability to have shifted to where you understand there was always light in the dark. There was no just dark. There was always light with you. It always is with you. Look at the darkness around this beautiful stone. The dark shows us the light. What we have to understand, light is way more than what we perceive by the human eye. Light is energy. Energy cannot be contained. Energy cannot be put in a box. It's all-encompassing. It's everywhere. And that's the gift. That's what you're being able to take away from this. And you're in this crisis moment of showing what you've done through this beautiful lunar cycle, because remember, we're getting ready for another new moon to set new intentions. It's ongoing, beloved. It's not about creating one thing and that's like, oh, I'm done. It's beautiful when we create and manifest, but we're way more here to do creating and manifesting, not just enjoy that one creation. And when we can let go of that, our manifestations come in faster and quicker. So there's this gift of illumination for you to understand that and be able to see all the light in your dark and understand what light truly is. Okay? The lesson is another storm element. This is a lesson of evolution. This is governed by Herderite. And if you can see this card, this being is first on the ground, then crouched, then standing, and now received his wings. He's a winged being. He's evolved and grown through transformation and change. That is the lesson for this third quarter moon at the end of this cycle. The universe is asking you, your guides, you're being asked to really learn these lessons as you go through, because at the end, you're being asked to take that next step. Whether you're at this step of crouching, this, or here, it doesn't matter. There's no judgment here. It's all beautiful. But just take that leap, evolve, grow, shift to the next level. You can do it. You've got double storm in this final week before the next new moon. That is transformation and change and growth, and you get to evolve and grow. But you have to learn these lessons, these 3 water element lessons, in order to come to that state. The overall gift and lesson for the month, this is from June 3rd through July 2nd, 2019. Wow. We have the gift of the fire element itself. So you see this card does not have a keyword at the top. This is the archetype of the fire element. So what are we being gifted with? We are being gifted with, through this month, and fire element is powerful, powerful directive energy. So interesting, right? We only have one fire element gift here, but that doesn't matter. How do you really truly become empowered? By learning to trust yourself, by learning to go within and get heart-centered. The heart is, even though the heart is a water element chakra, it is the power of the entire energetic system. So the fire element itself is the energy you can draw from in order to really evolve and grow this month. But this gift is coming through some of these lessons. The evolution is empowerment. I forgot to say something in this section here. When you have fire and water together, that's a fire-water polarity. And that's interesting because this month we're going to be dealing with a fire-water polarity with all these water lessons. We're going to want to act and act and act and act, but we're going to also feel unsure. Are we supposed to act? We're going to have energetic ups and downs because fire and water are polar opposites. Water is asking us to learn how to get heart-centered, to learn how to trust our inner self, to learn how to go with the flow, path of least resistance. And fire is saying, nope, act, push, show the world everything. But what I'm telling you is the gift of this fire element is about learning how to come from a state of balanced fire, and we can't do that if we're too pushy, too not understanding that as a co-creator, an empowered state is about never blaming anybody for anything going on in our life, never shaming anybody for anything going on. If they don't want to do something we want them to do. So we're being gifted with this intense ability to create, passion, maybe start a new career through this, you know, because fire element governs career. The lesson is self-knowledge. So this is a wind element card governed by lapis lazuli. This is a very karmic card. And this is very interesting because in the lesson position, this is saying, do you want to repeat this course? Do you want to go back to the beginning of here? Or do you want to shed and learn your lessons through this and let go so you can evolve to the next level? And like I said again, if you're not here evolving to here, it doesn't matter. Nobody is higher than you. Nobody's better than you. All right? It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It just matters where you're going. Let go of that. So the lesson through this month is this self-knowledge, this wrapping up of and shedding of these old belief systems to understand you have all the answers within yourself. You intuitively know. These water element lessons are so important for you to come out empowered and heart-centered and letting and shedding go of all these things that are holding you back. This is a wind element card. This is the mind. And it makes sense, right? Being in this Gemini season. I personally find the beginning of Gemini season, it takes me about 3 to 4 days to adjust because I'm a Scorpio. And my Mercury is in Scorpio with Neptune literally beside it. Neptune is the house of spirit. Mercury's the house of mind, deep in the fathoms of watery Scorpio. So it takes me some adjustment when I get into, because my mind really goes into fifth dimensional reality very easily. So, you know, this lesson here of wind element here through Gemini is about learning what I said at the beginning, to have a clear mind, to be able to receive that inspirational divine guidance, divine messages. Really, it is first through the heart, because everything does come through the heart, and that's how we get it into the mind. These water element lessons are really important. One thing you can do with this reading, if it really speaks to you and you really want to work with these energies, each time you get to this next cycle, you can fast forward to this video and listen to that week coming up. You can pause it and look at the cards, spend time with the cards. You know, you can really allow yourself to gain a lot of information and wisdom coming through. If you choose, we all have free will. We don't have to do anything if we don't want to, just because but of course, with this double storm at the end, who wouldn't want to come out balanced in their power and with this new understanding of energy and light, this being able to evolve to the next level? Because remember, July 2nd is another new moon where we can set new intentions. So the overall gift for the unicorns this month is sanctuary. Very, very important. And this is such a beautiful card. So if you think about the beginning of the reading where I talked about getting into some sacred space and tapping into this ancient wisdom and all these 3 lessons of receptivity, it's so important that you have time away from the busy world, alone, meditate, take time for yourself, get connected with the true you within yourself. You're being gifted with this. This is such an important thing to do in order for us to learn these water element lessons. Because if we're just out and about and running and doing and never taking time, no one ever seems to have time for themselves. This is the gift. This is what the unicorns want. And we can call on unicorns. They assist us with our soul path, with soul wishes, with really understanding that there is no duality, that we are divine perfection, and that the key to healing duality within ourselves and that the parts we don't like about ourselves is sending love and compassion to those aspects of ourselves, not beating up on ourselves, not escaping, not running away from it. Personal truth, acceptance, and innocence through, and you can call on the unicorns for assistance. Sit in your sacred space, ask them to come to you. The lesson is abundance. So this beautiful lesson is, if you can trust and let go and get yourself ready to receive through all these water element lessons, we have to be receptive. We have to believe we're worthy and love ourselves enough in order to receive and create, coming from this place of ancient wisdom, coming into, rather than receiving, we can't receive from a place of lack. We can only receive when we feel and coming from a loving way. It can't be an ego way. That's fear. It has to come from a place of love. So enjoy every moment. Enjoy life's bounty. Understand that the universe has enough for everybody. It's our lack in our mind that prevents us from creating and bringing in what it is we truly want. Remember, abundance is more than money. Abundance is love, joy. I consider my life to be successful when I can come from a state of joy and gratitude and trust and letting go and understanding. So the reason these 3 water element cards, these 3 water element lessons, 3 weeks in a row are so important is because if we cannot be receptive and understand that it is our birthright to receive what we truly want, when this illumination comes, you won't be able to hold it, okay? And you can't hold what you're not ready to receive. If you believe there's lack, there's going to be lack because that's what you're thinking about. That's another of the self-knowledge lessons you want to let go of, right? The mind is where all our creations come from, the thoughts. So it's a really, really beautiful reading. We've got entire month of fire element here, power, passion, creativity, to tap into ancient wisdom, to trust our insight. What we know below the surface is the truth, not what people are presenting. To come into dynamic balance through fire, to understand that there is no good and bad, and that we need to be able to tweak any areas of our life that we're ignoring or overdoing. And then fire element to illuminate the truth, to transform, be the light, be the light. And then this month of karmic clearing and self-knowledge coming into this, we don't want to have to rewrite this exam, right? That's kind of what it is. The message is if we can't learn the lessons, then we have to, we're going to have to go back. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't shame or blame. It's just is what it is. And I prefer to keep going. So through this lesson of self-knowledge, we come into our heart and we receive and learn, what do we truly want? What is our personal truth? What is our heart's desire? And then we learn to let go and let God. We're beginning to understand what this path of least resistance really means and how to work with it. Then we move into, again, this self-knowledge of, wow, all my experience has brought me to where I am today. I can send love and compassion to myself when I'm feeling jealous or angry or sad or unworthy. I am okay. This is a beautiful day. Self-knowledge through this evolution. I have passed the test. I'm going to the next level, and I'm going to keep moving forward in dynamic balance, empowered, coming from a heart-centered place of love. It's a really, really powerful month, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to reach out to me for a private reading, please do so. You can connect with me, send me a message through YouTube, through Facebook, through Instagram, Crystal Path of Light. My email is crystalpathoflight@gmail.com. I would be happy to do a private reading with you. And I just wish you a beautiful month, beloveds. Namaste.